Welcome back. Welcome back. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here, of course, the Diamond K Show on fire broadcasting.com, the diamondkshow.com. So, hope everybody had a great weekend. A lot of things that we need to discuss today. Trump has vowed, President elect Donald Trump has vowed to use the U.S. military for these mass deportations that are coming up and I think are inevitable. I was on an elevator today in downtown Baltimore with a Spanish lady and her kids, and she did not speak a lot of English, and she needed help coming, getting to the ground floor. And I directed her in the right way. Spanish is decent. It's decent. My Spanish is decent enough to help her. Right. Anyway, I was thinking, wow, this young lady is probably not going to survive in America for this second Trump term. I'm like, she's probably going to get deported. Right. So Trump has vowed to use the military for this. The president-elect confirmed on his social media network that he plans to use the military to carry out the mass deportation of undocumented migrants. Oh yeah, this is going to be interesting. So on this post, he said true about this, and this was in response to a conservative commentator who wrote that Trump would declare a national emergency and use military assets, use the United States Armed Forces to lead a mass deportation program. How do y'all feel about that? Y'all cool with that? Are you all cool with that? So at campaign events, Trump has repeatedly made the pledge to mobilize the National Guard to assist ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the federal agency that is supposed to be doing this job. But he is talking about he is going to bring in the armed forces. Of course, shout out to everybody watching on Instagram. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to folks on TikTok. Give me a rose. If on TikTok, if I get the rose goal that we have, then I will tell a joke. And that is for TikTok. Anyway, the latest comments from Trump come as questions continue to grow about how he's going to fulfill the pledge to execute the largest mass deportation in the history of this country. How is he going to do it? I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do it, how he plans to do it, if it is something that is even possible. Not sure about that. Not sure about that. But he has repeatedly said that he would begin deportations on his first day in office, which is going to be January 20th, 2025. But even if even if he's able to legally move ahead with these plans, and it's still up in the air whether he can do that. Let's understand this. The president is not a king. He just can't just make things up out the clear blue sky. And I also want Republicans to be careful what you do, because if you set some type of a precedent, then when Democrats are in office, some of this stuff could come back to haunt you. I'm just saying. Have fun, right? Enjoy your victory, but understand that it comes with a cost. This victory is going to come with a cost. Now, it's going to be a cost for the American people, obviously. But I don't know. I don't want y'all to overreach. Here's what happens. The party in power tends to overreach. They think that they have some type of a mandate. The Republicans don't have a mandate. Right? Trump barely won a little bit half of what Joe Biden won by. All right, just a little bit. So let's not overplay your hand. All right, let's not overplay your stroke. Right. Um, I think it's doubtful that ICE's 20,000 agents and support personnel would be enough to find and track down millions of undocumented migrants. I, how are they going to track all these folks down? So that is a job in itself. Now, there is a major financial cost, but Trump said that this is not going to deter his administration's efforts. How do y'all think that things are going to go down? How do you think prices are going to go down again? He doesn't even care about costs. He don't care about costs, and he doesn't care about fulfilling the things that he said on the campaign trail. He just says anything. All right. There's going to be a major financial cost, but Trump said on his social network early today that he's continuing to announce these nominations for these key positions. These nominations that he has thrown out there, disasters, right? Disaster after disaster after disaster, and so Trump he's choosing allies, he's choosing supporters over actual experience and folks that can do the job. He's just getting anybody. You've seen the jokes online about letting P. Diddy out so P. Diddy can be in charge of something at the White House parties, or something with baby oil in it, right? And tell me this: after Trump gets inaugurated in January, does this mean that R. Kelly is not canceled anymore? I mean, because if the Republicans and Americans, 50% of Americans have elected someone with all these felonies, then why can't we play R. Kelly at a party without feeling bad? Why can't we play R. Kelly songs without feeling bad? Clearly, America doesn't care about felonies. They don't care about felonies. Yeah, I'm just saying. So Trump has chosen several loyal allies, you want to call them that, for top roles overseeing immigration and deportation policy. Kristi Noem, who you would not want to leave your dog around because she shoots and kills dogs. She's going to be in charge of Homeland Security. Former ICE Chief Tom Homan, and he's got the right name. And he's going to be the border czar, even though we don't have a border czar, but he's going to be the border czar, whatever. Trump's team has released pretty much no details as far as a plan because they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. But I don't know. Under the 4 years of Trump's first administration, around 1.5 million people were deported, both from the border and the U.S. interior. So Biden's administration has deported about 1.1 million people up to February of this year, and that is on track to match the statistics. So things are continuing to be as normal. Trump is saying a whole bunch of foolishness, a whole bunch of things that don't really make a lot of sense. He just says things, talking about things that don't make sense. Donald Trump named the raspy voice, vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for health secretary. If confirmed by the Senate, and that's a big if, Kennedy would oversee 11 agencies, including the Food and Drug Administration. In a statement, the president-elect said that Kennedy, like I said, a known vaccine skeptic, would help protect Americans from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, and products, food additives, etc. Sounds good on paper. But RFK, just the wrong person. Divorced 3 times, right? Married 3 times. We need someone that's going to help heal the country. I don't know if Donald Trump wants to heal the country. I don't know if he wants to heal the country. Now, of course, Trump supporters are going to say, oh my God, Kamala and Biden and Obama were the most divisive, that all that kind of stuff that he says. Complete and utter foolishness. Whatever you say right, Republicans are going to say, no, left. It's left. That's just what they do. Later on this week, on Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be having a 2-day special event. I'm going to be having a discussion. It's going to turn into a debate, but I'm having a discussion with Brother Muhammad of State of the City. And we're going to be talking about election fallout. He is a Trump supporter. I obviously am not. And we're going to be talking about the fallout from the election, how we got here, where are we going, where are things headed as it relates to the country. So we're going to be doing that on Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday. And I'm looking forward to that discussion. We have we're completely on opposite sides of the spectrum. As I said, he is a Trump supporter, was a Trump supporter from the beginning. And I just know that Trump is not what this country needs. After 4 years of Trump, that's how we got Biden. Biden couldn't beat anybody else except for Donald Trump after or during the pandemic. That's the only reason why, because Trump was that bad. Trump was that bad. Now, Trump supporters, I mean, and I talk to them all the time. Trump supporters email me all the time. I have several people that I know that are Trump supporters. And yeah, I didn't even block them or nothing. I still take their calls and everything. But they talk a whole bunch. Someone on TikTok is saying, debate you. Who are you? Send me a message. Let's see if you let's it's fine. Of course, okay, so Just Us on TikTok says that Dems need new leadership. Dump the woke joke. Get back in line with the base. I don't know about the woke joke part, but they definitely need new leadership and they definitely need to get back in line with the base. I never understood the co-opting of the word woke, right? The opposite of woke is sleep, right? So the sleep GOP versus the woke Democrats. I mean, I don't understand why being woke is a bad thing, right? But many of the Trump supporters are asleep. So I guess that may be why they don't have a connection with, somebody being awake and aware. Midlife Bro Logic says Trump 2024. Absolutely, you sure did. You say it all the time. I'll be sure glad when it's 2025 and you won't be saying Trump 2024 again. So tired of hearing that. Trump 2024. Okay. You got what you want. Now, after it doesn't work out, right? Okay, so we had to do something different over there. After this whole Trump thing does not work out, y'all going to still try to blame, I guess they're going to blame Kamala. They're going to say the Trump second term didn't work because of Russia. Oh, man. Trump supporters are freaking hilarious. They are hilarious. So just tuning in, we're talking about Donald Trump confirming his plan to declare a national emergency. If Barack Obama was doing something like this, oh my God, you Trump supporters, your heads would be exploding. Your heads would be exploding. So Donald Trump is going to do something, and how he gets away with this craziness, some Republicans are going to push back, I think, at some point in time. Some of them are going to grow a spine at some point in time. Not yet. Not yet. So he's doubling down on his provocative cabinet picks. Their fates are going to hang in the balance. Mitch McConnell has issued some type of a warning. I mean, he's on his way out the door. So it makes sense that I don't know. He's he's I mean, he's going to say stuff, he's older, right? He's going to do the same thing that Nancy Pelosi has done. Mitch McConnell is going to return to the regular ranks of the Congress, but he's going to have some kind of a influence over things. He's going to be like a senior citizen influencer. Right? He doesn't really have control, but he's going to be leading folks in the right direction. So Donald Trump is in some type of hermetically sealed bubble with only his supporters in it. Now, a lot of politicians tend to be like that, in some type of bubble. And when they're in this bubble, sometimes folks are scared to tell them the truth. Folks around them are scared to tell them the truth. These politicians, when they get in these bubbles. So I think that it's become something of a given that Donald Trump can simply bypass Congress and magically fill his cabinet with loyalists of his choosing. That might have been the case if Trump was not picking some of the folks that he is. Matt Gaetz, this is going to be a debacle. Matt Gaetz is going to be a debacle. Pete Hegseth. Are you kidding me? That is going to be a debacle. Tulsi Gabbard, debacle. Not to mention RFK Jr. Getting anywhere near the CDC is going to be a debacle. Trump's like the cult leader that goes over to some of the members and says to one of the male members, I need to screw your wife because the Lord wants me to do it. And the cult member says, oh, okay. And he lets him screw his wife. A lot of these MAGA supporters, if Trump came up to them and said, I need to screw your wife, they would probably let him. So it's fascinating that he has this kind of control, over his subjects. The picks that Donald Trump has made, I mean, it's almost tailor-made to ensure that the Constitution's advice and consent clause remains on sturdy ground. That is the purpose. Even those who most need Trump to think that they are worthy allies are setting the ground for a slow slide back to reality. And that's where we're going. We're going there. We're going back to reality. It's coming. And now look, it's going to be a slow path to get there. Some of you Trump supporters don't understand how this thing works. But if you really want to understand the posture that some of the key leaders are taking on Trump's norm-busting nominees, right? He's doing some of this. He's doing on purpose. He's doing to get, folks talking about him. It's marketing and promotions, sort of like that debacle of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, right? It's promotion. It was posing as boxing, but it wasn't really boxing. And a lot of this stuff is posing as politics for America, but it's not really that. It's not really that at all. So the institutions in this country are worth preserving, and they're worth defending. So if you really are trying to understand, you have to listen closely to somebody who I don't care about at all, and that is Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader, is telling allies in open session and perhaps in private counsel some of the things that need to be said. He is checking Trump on the way out of leadership, but checking Trump, no doubt. So he said, this is Mitch McConnell. He's talking about his focus during his time in Washington. So he told this to a conservative think tank gala that was in his honor over the weekend. He said that it's been quite evident to me that the credible check on majority rule was worth preserving even when it didn't serve my party's immediate political interest. Because wild swings in policy with every transfer of power does not set or serve the nation's interest. For consequential legislation to endure, it should have to earn the support of a broad coalition. So what is he saying here? What is Mitch McConnell saying in this broad speaking at an American Enterprise Institute event about the Senate's baked in slow pace and its capacity to cool passions? He's saying that swinging too far either way doesn't have a good outcome. And that's what I'm saying. I know that that's what Republicans are going to do. They're going to swing too far to the right, and you're going to have a crash in the midterms, 2026, and then you're going to lose the White House in 2028. That's what's going to happen. And Mitch McConnell's old enough to know that that's what's going to happen. That's the road that you're heading down. Fine by me. Fine by me. Now, someone who understands McConnellese, that answer, that quote that I just said may seem confusing. But if you understand how this Kentucky Republican wields his influence, then you'll be able to read in between the lines a little bit. So by last night, perhaps egged on by a now deleted message on X, the MAGA folks were mad at Mitch McConnell. Some of them are going ballistic at the suggestion that the upper chamber was not on board with giving Donald Trump everything he wanted. Yes, they did not want Donald Trump checked. They thought that he had a blank check on his own cabinet. And just like family members who are spoiling a kid, just like that, some of these MAGA folks are in their feelings. Somebody, Max Payne on TikTok says that Captain America, President Donald Trump, and his cabinet is the Avengers. Oh, Captain America. Okay. Sounds good. A lot of those Captain America movies ain't all that, for the record. Now, if Donald Trump can't get the support he needs from a Republican-controlled Senate to confirm his polarizing picks, that only leaves the prospect for the recess appointments to ram them through. If a Democrat was talking about using recess appointments to ram all their nominees through, oh my God, the Republicans will be losing their minds. But of course, they think they can do whatever they want. Part of the problem with Democrats has been weakness. Weakness, repeated weakness. At some point in time, and I hope that it's going to be the next Democratic nominee, Democrats are going to have to stand up. Democrats are going to have to give Republicans a taste of their own medicine. They're going to have to do some of the things that Republicans are doing. And many of the traditional Democrats, many of the old guard, like Joe Biden and others, think that this is another time. They think we're still living in the dial-up era or something like that, when we had the slow internet, right? They're still thinking we're living in that time. This is a different time. It is time to do things differently. Democrats have got to be harder. Democrats have got to be willing and able to give as good as they get. And hopefully we're going to be at that point. After the second Trump term, I think that not only are Democrats going to start to get the message, the American people are going to get the message. They're going to get the message. Privately, a lot of Republicans are dubious that availing himself to a widespread or even unilateral recess appointment is the best way for Trump to assemble his second term team or sustain any credibility for the Senate. They are also bracing for an incoming White House that is going to throw norms and traditions to the wayside, and they have this eye towards vengeance. Vengeance. A leader who sees any second guessing as disloyalty. Are members of our armed forces going to obey an illegal command from this rogue president-elect? I don't know. The result, the penalty for that is what? Now, Donald Trump, the Supreme Court has told Donald Trump pretty much that he can do whatever he wants, right? They said that the president can. Now, somebody that's old and out of touch like Joe Biden, I would take that and run with it in my lame duck months. That's what I would do. Joe Biden scared to pardon his son, even though the Trump administration, the second Trump administration, is going to target his son. Joe Biden and Democrats that think like him are so stupid that they're not willing to take it a notch up. There's a lot of things that Joe Biden could do in the lame duck that he's not going to do. I'll be glad when he's gone, quite honestly. We need some new leadership. That is true. We definitely need some new leadership. Of course, just tuning in to the Diamond K Show, on fire, broadcasting.com, thediamondkshow.com. Of course, on all social media, I'm at the Diamond K Show. On YouTube, subscribe, DJ Diamond K. So we are talking about this debacle of Donald Trump. And the Trump and Mitch McConnell feud is never going to evaporate. And it provides useful foil for somebody like Thune, who is trying to stay in Trump's good graces as long as possible. When asked last week about the possibility of recess appointments, Thune was very careful in his word choice and seems plenty happy to let Mitch McConnell take the heat. Yeah, he was real happy to do that. Now, I don't know. If you think back, though, in 2018, Trump demanded that Mitch McConnell eliminate the procedural hurdle of 60 votes to move forward on most legislation. McConnell simply ignored the demand, drawing more ire from Donald Trump without any real cost to his power in the Senate. Now, if McConnell had done that, then it would have come back to haunt Republicans at some point down the line. And McConnell saw through that and said, I'm not going to do that. I don't know if you have enough Republicans that are willing to do what's necessary to rein the childish Donald Trump in. But if y'all don't, whatever it is, I just want Republicans, MAGA supporters to keep that same energy, because things are going to swing back around. You're going to go too far, You're going to go too far. And the mandate that you think that you have, which is not really a mandate, it's not really a mandate, but you think you have a mandate. So I think Trump has like 50%, and I think Kamala got like 49%. That's not no big mandate. That's a 50. This is a 50-50 country for the folks that vote. 50-50. So we're gonna see. Trump's message, for the most part, worked on Latino men. Now, amigos, I don't know if you realize this yet, but that fact that you received Trump's message that's not in your best interest, you're going to feel, we're going to talk about it 4 years from now and see how you feel about it then. Latinos for Trump. We're going to see about that. We're going to see about that. I think that a lot of Latinos that voted for Trump deserve a lot of the blame. Now, depending on what your political persuasion is, the Latinos for Trump deserve a lot of the blame for this win. Hispanic men who flocked to Trump in unprecedented numbers might have made the difference in Pennsylvania. That was a big deal. Many people, including myself, hoped that after calling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage and promising to deport millions of immigrants, and the Hispanic vote would help lift Kamala to victory. It did not. Now, as I take some stock into my feelings, it's the role that Latino men, the role that they played in all of this, that is so surprising to me. There are a lot of lessons to learn here. And I'm going to name a few of them. Hispanic working class men were swayed by the same message that all working class men are swayed by. They are affected by the economy, understandable, just like any other working class person. And they proved that they are susceptible, if not more than most, to the fear mongering of socialism creeping into America. There's also an underlying stench of misogyny. You know, what we call back in the day, male chauvinist pigs. There's an underlying stench of that. So, in many instances, Kamala probably could have never won in 2024 America. Whether she was running a 100 and some day campaign or a 2-year campaign, because of the allure of misogyny by a lot of people in this country. Hispanic men, black men, white men, misogyny. Thinking that a woman could not do the job. Doesn't matter how intelligent, doesn't matter how smart, doesn't matter how qualified. So you had that. And then there's immigration. You have immigration. Democrats have long banked on it being the chain that linked them to the Hispanic electorate. And a big problem for Democrats is taking voters for granted. They take the black vote for granted. We don't really have to talk to them. They're going to vote for us regardless. So much money was wasted on things that, I mean, I love Meg Thee Stallion. She's one of my favorites. But, the concert in Atlanta, concert in Houston. Money could have been better spent on the ground game in these places. A lot of money was wasted, misappropriated funds. And Elon Musk coming in and helping with the misinformation and disinformation campaign that he helped with some of their ads and targeting Kamala and other things. All that stuff hurt. And Democrats just don't seem to know how to combat some of these things for whatever reason. It's the old guard that they have, these liberal white consultants that think that they know when they don't know. One thing is for sure, and I do commend Republicans for this one thing. They have recognized that the electorate has changed, has evolved. They're welcoming people in their party that they never would have welcomed years ago. So they've evolved on that part. Democrats are stuck in the past, and they need to evolve. And hopefully this Trump debacle, this Trump part 2, will get a lot of Democrats to see the need for evolution. Midlife Bro Logic said, I would look good in a MAGA hat. Absolutely, categorically not. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Yeah, I'm not feeling that at all. Of course, on YouTube, shout out to our folks on YouTube, DJ Diamond K on YouTube. So I don't know. There's a lot. There is a lot to unpack. So I don't have any compassion for these voters that I'm talking about. I don't have any compassion for them. I don't. At the end of the day, Trump's message, the immigrants as animals here to rape and kill your daughters, that message won with Latinos. Crazy. That message won with Venezuelan Americans. It is shameful. Trump's threat to deport 20 million people. There are only around 11 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. But he has, like, his numbers are like, I don't know. But Stephen Miller, this individual, is already promising to turbocharge denaturalization. So a lot of those Trump voters, Spanish ones, Latinos, that thought that they were safe, Stephen Miller has a plan to turbocharge denaturalization. Let me translate that. Taking away citizenship from people that legally and through years of hard work waited for their chance to become an American. What kind of last names do you think that Trump and Stephen Miller will target? You think it's going to be people like Buford, O'Neill, Rogers? No. It's going to be folks with last names like Rodriguez and Gutierrez and those kind of names. Even when all of these facts are present, Latinos for Trump, they don't even understand it. Birthright citizenship on the chopping block. So I don't have any compassion for these voters. I don't. I do not have any compassion for these voters. When I think of the hundreds of thousands of immigrants who have escaped wars and um, dictatorships, natural disasters, and benefited from America's temporary protected status, TPS, this program will most likely vanish. People that found refuge because of it will become just numbers to fill up Trump's deportation tally. That's what's going to happen. When you think of DACA, the Deferred Action for Children Arrival recipients, over 500,000 of them that are now, again, at risk of being deported. They're going to be on the chopping block to boost up the numbers. Now, I'm talking about the ones that came here as children through no fault of their own, who overcame the most brutal of challenges and still managed to succeed in America. If Donald Trump and Stephen Miller have their way, they will soon be forced to leave the only place they've ever known, breaking up families, breaking up communities. But Latinos for Trump, they supported this. So it's gonna be hard to, for them to survive. Many of them, they're not gonna survive in the country. They're gonna be gone somewhere else. So I don't know. Maybe secretly, every Latino who voted for Trump knows what it feels like to miss home. And maybe that's why their vote should feel like a betrayal to many of their people. Now, like I said, I'm not going to shed any tears for any of them. And this Midlife Bro Logic says this. I'm going to bring this up on the screen. He's saying this on YouTube. Latinos for Trump are legal U.S. citizens. They have nothing to worry about. Wrong. Maybe Midlife Bro Logic, you've never heard of Stephen Miller. Maybe you're unaware that they are going to turbocharge denaturalization. There are going to be a lot of folks that have broken family members. Now, so there may be one or two, right? But don't think that some of the Latinos for Trump's family members are not going to go back. Don't think that. I mean, it's just it's crazy, and it is short-sighted for you to think that all Latinos for Trump are safe. They are not safe. But hey, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, this ain't nothing but a rerun. Okay, it doesn't matter to me. So I'm just gonna say, remember I said it, and I'm definitely the type of person that says I told you so. When I'm right, I'm gonna say I told. Look, remember the time I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and I am going to enjoy saying it. This a second Trump debacle. Yeah, it's a debacle. Now, the Democratic Party has a very big hill to climb with Latinos in the next 4 years. But the Republicans, the MAGA supporters are, and Trump himself are going to make it a little bit easier because of all the pain that is going to be inflicted on the Latino community. It's going to be a lot easier to get them to vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is going to be because of all the pain. I'm telling you. And so Hispanic men as a voting bloc should actually now be considered Republican. It is the GOP's vote to lose. Now, I wonder if Democrats will put in the work to win them back. I hope so. I really do. I wonder if the consequences of Trump's horrific immigration policies, their abject cruelty, will drive Latinos away to the open arms of Democrats. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Now, this assumes that our democracy holds and we even have a chance to vote in 4 years. That is that remains to be seen. who who knows what's going to happen there? Of course, just tuning in, your man Diamond K in here. The Diamond K Show. As I said, this Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. On all social networks, as well as onfirebroadcasting.com, as well as YouTube, DJ Diamond K. We're going to have a discussion, which is obviously going to turn into a debate between myself and Brother Muhammad of the State of the City show in Baltimore. We're going to be having a conversation on the election fallout for 2024, how we got here to this result of a convicted felon being elevated once again to the presidency over an accomplished attorney and the sitting vice president. We're going to talk about that. I know it's going to turn to a debate. Now, Brother Muhammad had State of the City here at Radio on Fire for about 2 years. And so I have not actually seen him since his show. We ended at Radio on Fire right before the pandemic. So I'm going to be interested to see now during the first campaign for Trump, when Trump got in office, Brother Muhammad was a big supporter of Trump, and we used to debate in the studio, not on air too often, surprisingly, but we're going to have a chance to do that on Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be very interesting. So MAGA supporters have a friend in Brother Muhammad. And so I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of gloating, and that's fine. That is fine. He does not seemingly like female politicians. I guess it's part of the misogyny. Maybe it comes with being a MAGA supporter. You have to not like female politicians or even think that they could do a good job. Part of the misogyny. Couple of other topics I want to hit before we get out of here. A former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley is running for chair of the DNC. I ran into Martin O'Malley once downtown Baltimore during lunchtime. He was coming from City Hall. I was walking towards City Hall, and he was not the mayor at this time. Stephanie Rollins Blake was the mayor at this time. So I walked past him, and as he's approaching, I'm like, okay, that looks like Martin O'Malley. And so when we got past each other, I just kind of gave him a head nod, and he kept on walking without security, just walking, went and got something to eat. It was super random, but the former Maryland governor said that he's joining the race for the chair of the DNC. And that is interesting. Martin O'Malley becomes the first potential candidate to announce his bid to chair the DNC. O'Malley will resign as the Social Security Administration commissioner in order to run for that chairship. O'Malley put in his notice to resign from the Social Security Administration by way of a letter to Joe Biden with the resignation to take effect on the 29th of November. So he is resigning, and resignation. Jesus, what? Am I sleepy? That's funny. Anyway, a vote among the DNC members will take place early next year. And so that's interesting. Is Martin O'Malley going to be the chair of the DNC? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. That's interesting. Is he considered new leadership? So he has sent in his resignation. That is interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll have to see. But other news: Spirit Airlines filed for bankruptcy. The financial losses have been piling up. They said today that they have filed for bankruptcy in order to attempt to reboot. They're trying to recover from the pandemic caused swoon in travel and a failed attempt to sell the airline to JetBlue. That's the real reason. They were trying to sell to JetBlue, it didn't work out. Spirit, the biggest U.S. budget airline, has lost more than $2.5 billion since 2020. They have a looming debt payments totaling more than $1 billion over the next year. Spirit said that it expects to operate as normal as it works its way through the prearranged Chapter 11 bankruptcy process. So customers, they say, can still continue to book and fly without interruption. I don't know about that. As I don't fly JetBlue anyway. So we'll see. That is, I don't know. People, surprisingly, looking at some of these stats, people are still flying on Spirit. They're just not paying that much. In the first 6 months of this year, Spirit passengers flew 2% more than they did in the same period last year. However, they are paying 10% less per mile, a revenue per mile from fares that is down nearly 20%. And this is contributing to the red ink that Spirit has. Now, this is not new. Spirit failed to return to profitability during the pandemic as things eased up and travel rebounded. Now, there are several reasons why Spirit is on the downside of things. Spirit's costs, especially for labor, have risen. The biggest U.S. airlines have snagged some of Spirit's budget-conscious customers. They've done this by offering their own bare-bones ticket prices. Fares for U.S. leisure travel, which is Spirit's core business, have really taken a hit. Now, there's a whole glut of new flights. So then the premium end of the air travel market has surged while Spirit's traditional no frills end has stagnated. All right, people want a better experience. They're going to pay a little bit more flying in a lot of instances. People just, I don't know, just don't like Spirit like that. This summer, Spirit tried to sell bundled fares that included a bigger seat, priority boarding, free bags, internet service, snacks, and drinks. That is a huge change from their longtime strategy of luring customers with rock bottom prices and forcing them to pay extra for things like carry-on bags or a soda. I did fly Spirit once, and it was not pleasant. I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't like it. Now, Spirit has also been plagued by required repairs. So to the engines. And so this has forced the airline to ground dozens of its Airbus jets. And that, it was a furlough, pilots. They've been dealing with a lot of stuff. Now, Frontier Airlines tried to merge with Spirit in 2022, but was outbid by JetBlue. And then the Justice Department sued to block the $3.8 billion deal, saying that it would drive up prices for Spirit customers who depended on low fares. And a federal judge agreed in January. It's like they just can't catch a break. It can't catch a break. So that after that, Justice Department, federal judge, JetBlue, and Spirit dropped their merger 2 months later. Now, U.S. airline bankruptcies were very common in the 1990s and early 2000s as airlines struggled with fierce competition, high labor costs, and sudden spikes in the price of jet fuel. Pan Am, TWA, Northwest, Continental, United, and Delta were all swept up. Remember those. Some liquidated, while others used favorable laws to renegotiate debts and kept flying. The last bankruptcy by a major United States carrier ended when American Airlines emerged from Chapter 11 protection and then simultaneously merged with U.S. Airways back in 2013. So Spirit's going to be around for a little while longer. Not much longer. I don't know. Do you like Spirit Airlines? Folks that are flying, do you like Spirit Airlines? Definitely let me know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Of course, in the comment section, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Threads. I just joined Blue Sky the other day. Blue Sky. So far, I like that. It's very similar to how Twitter used to be. Very similar to that. So yeah, so it's cool. I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna continue to follow it. Obviously, we're still on X. Not leaving there anytime soon, but a lot of folks have left X. They are mad. I don't blame them. Yeah, I don't blame them. We're going to see about that. A couple of other things. Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely wanted to touch on this. There is a cruise line that is offering a 4-year trip for Americans who do not want to be in America during Trump's second presidential term. So this company, cruise company, is offering Americans this 4-year escape from President-elect Donald Trump's second term in the White House. It is a Florida-based company called Villa V Residences, and it recently announced this launch of its Tour La Vie program, allowing passengers to spend up to 4 years visiting over 140 countries, all while avoiding the United States. And the Tour La Vie trip offers a variety of extended stays aboard the Villa V Odyssey, including a 1-year escape from reality cruise, a 2-year midterm selection cruise, and a 3-year everywhere but home option, and the 4-year skip forward trip. So that is that's interesting. Folks interested in that, you can take a 4-year cruise to be away from America and skip the second Trump presidency. Very interesting there. Last thing I wanted to touch on, rapper and producer will.i.am revealed that he lives out of a hotel room. I thought this was interesting. will.i.am says that I've never had a house. I bought myself a studio, but I stay in a hotel. Yeah, that's interesting. So I was wondering, is this a practical thing? Is this something that you would consider? will.i.am stays in a hotel, and he's from the Black Eyed Peas, if y'all remember that group. Some folks are saying on Instagram, who is will.i.am? He's a producer, he's a rapper. No, now y'all don't remember will.i.am? Oh my God. So I'll be back here tomorrow, of course, on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/djdiamondk. Of course, on all social media, I am at the Diamond K Show. Midlife Bro Logic says, "Are you on Truth Social?" I am not. I am not on Truth Social, nor will I be. That thing's gonna go away in about, I don't know, a year. Yeah, it's gonna be gone. No, I'm not on Truth. Are you on Truth Social, Midlife Bro Logic? Crazy. Crazy. Definitely check out latest club mix on youtube.com/djdiamondk. Need to get in touch with me, djdiamondk at gmail.com. Definitely make sure you tune in for the special broadcast on Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Myself, Diamond K, versus Brother Muhammad on a variety of topics. So that is interesting. That is interesting. Trump is going to mobilize government agencies to help deport record numbers of immigrants. Yeah, so that's what we have to look forward to. The Latino community is going to I think that they're going to be impacted in a severe way. Now, many of the Latinos for Trump foolishly think that they're going to be safe and their family's going to be safe. Midlife Bro Logic thinks that if you voted for Trump and you're Latino, you're cool. You're going to be safe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Of course, we'll be back here tomorrow. And as always, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.